welcome back to Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holton. Today I have a guest that has been in my life for quite a few years, and his role is like evolving in our life, and we've had a whole lot of parallels. So his name is Mark Kestner. So welcome to the podcast, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So Mark has a business called Bluebird Outdoor Adventures. Now there's 3 different parts of that currently. He has RV rental, he has an RV park, and now he's starting something that is a crappie guide service.
Correct.
Okay? So the biggest thing that we have had with Mark is we own Von Holton Ranch, and we're a horse trail riding facility, but we have RV parks or RV camping sites, and we have cabins. Well, we only have 4 cabins. Well, Mark is the perfect solution, and he is a business that is super close to ours. And so we've had this wonderful relationship where if somebody doesn't have a living quarter trailer, they can't, and we're out of cabins, I'm like, hey, I've got Mark Kestner's number, and he'll come and bring an RV and set it up for us. And
That's
then
right.
It has allowed so many people to get to come and attend our events. Or with our wedding venue, a lot of those people don't have horses at all. They don't even have a living quarters trailer. So it's
Or a camper.
Or a camper. And then he has so many people that actually have a camper, but they don't want to do 2 trips down, so they'll rent an RV from him, even though they have one at home, and then bring the horses to our facility. So we've had like a wonderful working relationship, and it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff because with us being so close, if he has another RV to deliver somewhere that's further away, we're like, yeah, you can bring it early, or yeah, you can come and pick it up late, because we're just
it helps
like,
me out a bunch.
oh yeah, because during the week we don't have a lot of people at our facility. So it's been a wonderful working relationship. So tell us, first of all, just about the RV rental. What made you decide to get into that?
So it's kind of a funny story. The way the RV rental business kind of started was with me and a buddy. We bought a camper just for deer hunting, just to stay down at deer camp, right? Mm-hmm. So we fixed it up, and the day that we fixed it up and got it finished, we were loading our hunting gear in and stuff, and it was late July, around right before state fair time. So a guy called me just out of the blue and asked me if I'd rent my camper out for the state fair, that he was coming down, and he was a vendor. And at first I said, no, I don't. It's just our deer camp camper. It's nothing special or nothing. Well, you just needed a place to stay with air conditioner, right?
Right.
Everybody knows Missouri in August in the state fair.
Actually, I have people that tune in from 49 states. I have no love from Vermont so far. Okay, come on, Vermont, and 35 countries. So a lot of people don't know about the weather in Missouri. So August, okay, so just to pause 1 second. Missouri has all 4 seasons, and all of them are amplified. So winter will get colder than the Antarctic, and then summer will get hotter than the equator, okay? And then we're super windy and we're super rainy. Like, you have to live in Missouri, you have to be tough, because there's 4 very dramatic seasons. So the Missouri State Fair is agriculture based, and it's 10 days long. All sorts of vendors come in. There's animal shows. There's just all sorts of a lot of fun for our state. And anyways, but August is hot. Like you're going to walk outside, and if you have makeup on, ladies, it's just going to run off your face, okay? You got to put powder on, all sorts of stuff. August is hot. So he was talking about somebody knew that you had a camping RV, and they needed it, and this is what sprung your business.
Yeah, that's
they
kind
just
of how
needed that air conditioning.
It all started with one, I think it was a 1986 camper. We called it the Super 8. And it all started from there, and I took it up there, and the guy rented it. You know, he stayed in it all during the state fair, and now we have 9 units right now. Almost all of them except for 2. I think we have 7 brand new units from 2021 to 2022s, and we're planning on trying to update the one.
Okay, trying to update one.
Yeah, this year, yeah.
So things that I know that is really cool about your business is if people had their house burn and they're needing to rebuild, you have done longer rentals. Is there any other circumstance like that, or maybe a tornado or something?
Yeah, excuse me, our main we're partnered with a couple different big time insurance companies. We're like a preferred vendor for them for State Farm insurance for sure, and almost all of our clients are usually fire victims. We've had a couple people with floods, and we'll actually they're all in rural areas.
Right.
They're rural areas that most of them have farms, animals, livestock they have to take care of.
You can't leave.
So a hotel just is not an option.
Right.
We've had campers in Kansas for over a year at a time. I actually still have a camper down by Stockton Lake with some people that their house burnt completely down, and we can keep them at their property. There's a lot of advantages of that. Security is one. Everybody knows, if when they find out you're gone away from your place,
right,
then things come up missing, and this way they can keep track and monitor the construction, rebuild, and we just take care of all of it. We just deal with their insurance company. They don't have to worry about it.
Right. Man, what a peace of mind that you've been able to, give people. I know with us here, I mean, we have cattle, we have horses, we've got mules, we've got a cat or a couple of cats, we got a dog. And then we have people's horses that live here because we have a boarding facility. And, man, if our house burnt, we would need to stay here, Yeah,
and
so,
the food costs, believe it or not, one of the big things is being able to cook. A hotel is, I guess there's some places you can rent like a studio room or something with a small kitchen, but this way people can stay at their property, keep an eye on stuff, keep their livestock up, and we just take care of all of it. It's it's one less. It's like Forrest Gump says, it's one less thing to worry about. Right?
Oh my gosh, you're quoting Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah,
you know
I
what
love
my
Forrest
husband quotes all the time is Water Boy. And it just hurts us that movie's like 20 years old now.
It makes you feel old.
Oh, it sure does. Every day I feel older and older. Whenever we decided to buy the family farm, our property sold too fast and we were uprooted for a little bit, but we needed to be here to build because that time adds up, that travel time of not being able, by the end of the week, we would have given up hours and hours of time that we could have been used for, construction and for cleanup.
Just taking care of your business, and believe it or not, anybody that's been in that situation, I feel terrible for them. It's terrible to pull up to somebody that they've lost everything that they've had, but then when you leave and you've provided a service for them that they can stay there and they're not. I took a camper one time, Brandy, to a couple that was living in a tent and it was 35 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh!
I took it to them at 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, they loved you.
They loved me.
Oh yeah. Whenever they talk about you and your business, like literally their heart just like. Right. You could probably see it coming through their shirt because of all the love that they have for you. I know, like, whenever we were building the ranch here, we ended up being homeless for a second because we were living in our horse trailer and talking about being uprooted. But we didn't have a bathroom. So a 5-gallon bucket with cat litter for the first 2 months. So whenever people tell me that they have goals and they have dreams, and I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Right.
But are you willing to be uncomfortable? A lot of people think that they have to be so comfortable all the time. And you don't, growth happens in some uncomfortable times in your life.
We all take things, little simple things. We take them for granted. Being able to go to the bathroom and not have to be outside.
Oh, yeah, not being
air
outside.
Conditioner.
Well, I know when we got a porta potty, I was like, that is so nice. And, and before that, I was like, porta potties are beneath me. Like, porta potties. I have never loved a porta potty so much until I was moved up to a porta potty from a 5-gallon bucket with cat litter.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're just like, that's nice.
Now, let me tell you something that nobody thinks about unless you've been in this situation with a tragedy like that, like a house fire where everything's gone. Everything you work for is gone. Your insurance companies will reimburse you for expenses, for living expenses. But get this, you go to Starbucks in the morning or somewhere and you're staying in a hotel and you go out and eat breakfast, you get coffee. You have to save all those receipts.
Yeah.
Every receipt. Then you have to get it back to the insurance company. Then it might be 30, 60, 90 days before you get reimbursed back for that stuff. This way, they got a coffee pot, They got a bathroom. They can cook breakfast. It's I'm real proud about the insurance stuff and being able to help people out. It's not always all about the money.
Right. No, I love, well, you know what? For people to be able to come to our place and get away from all of their worries, their job, and to connect with this horse that they just love or their mule, it does good for your soul to slow down. Our lives are so fast paced right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a video on your YouTube channel, and all it was a boat, and you're driving this boat across the river, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not even fishing in that video, and that thing has gotten so many views just because I know that people could, you know, they want to be right there.
Yeah, they want to be driving.
They want to be on that boat. They want to be relaxed. They don't want to be thinking about all their hustle bustle that they have going on right now. So you have the RV rental. You have an RV park because that's where your RVs are stored at.
Right, in Cole Camp.
Yeah, in Cole Camp, Missouri. And Cole is COLE and then just Camp, Cole Camp.
Correct.
And so how many do you have permanent RVers there?
Right, we do. We actually right now we have two separate like couples that are doing work around town or just south of town, and they actually have their own RV. So there's no reason for them to spend money on a hotel and stuff if they have their own RV.
Right.
So yeah, we provide monthly rates and long term. There's different rules about long term staying inside the city limits and stuff. But but we work with the city council and stuff. And really we bring people to town. They spend money in town. They're staying there. They're working. We've had people stay, you know, for months at a time looking for a place to buy or building a house. And it's a pretty good service. The Cole Camp Fair, everybody knows about the world's fair.
Well, not everybody.
Well, they
if
will
you're
now.
in Cole Camp has what they call the world's greatest fair. Now, I don't know, but I know I love corn dogs, so I'm not going to argue about
Juicy
that.
burgers. Juicy burgers.
Those burgers are amazing. Yeah, people don't realize how much money is brought in from tourism and people visiting other areas.
Yeah.
I mean, like us for a weekend, I mean, like, especially if there's a wedding, good Lord, everybody understands there's a lot of money coming into the town for a wedding. But for our horse events, like we host Country Tough Trail Versatility, which is like a combination of trail riding, ranch horsemanship, and then obstacles. Well, those, like right now, in our April event, that's 2 months away from now, 3 months away, I only have 6 RV sites remaining out of all of ours.
Yeah, and I already have a couple of those booked already for that event.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Yeah.
I do, yeah.
And people don't realize, I mean, they're going to go to Walmart and pick up some groceries if they forgot something. They're going to stop and they're going to fuel up their vehicle. They're probably going to go out to eat because we have some amazing restaurants in our area. We even have a lady that makes cheesecakes at her home. And we have people that will call her and be like, hey, I'm coming in. I need to order this, this, and this. And they go and get cheesecakes from this lady. And, like, there is so much money that's brought into our area.
I love cheesecake. I'll have to have that information before I leave.
She's in your town. Oh, my gosh. The cheesecakes are out of this world. So I don't think people realize how much money we bring into the area.
Right.
So you have... Okay, so it's called Bluebird Outdoor Adventures. Now, Bluebird is because that's the town that you live in. That's their mascot. Right.
Or when we picked that name, we went through. I still have the original paperwork when we first decided to try to do this and name our business and stuff. So Bluebird Outdoor Adventures, Bluebird come up. We covered our town and our state.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we come up with Bluebird.
So the Bluebird is the state bird for Missouri?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I didn't know that. You know, I'm originally from Texas.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
A lot of good crappie fishing in Texas.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm glad I just learned something.
Yeah, the state bird's Bluebird, and then, of course, our mascot for the Cole Camp is the Cole Camp Bluebirds. Okay.
So, Bluebird Outdoor Adventures. Now then, it's not the love of your life, because this is the third part of your business, but let's talk about the real love of your life. So it's a little...
Oh, I better throw this in there. We're going to talk about my wife, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So your wife, y'all have been married for how long?
37 years.
37 years to Miss Teresa. And then how many kids do you have?
We've got 4 kids.
4 kids, and one of them actually got married here, right?
Yeah, actually, Kaylee and Brandon got married here.
Yep. And then how many grandbabies?
3.
3. What's their age ranges? Do you know?
From 13, just turned teenager. That'd be Chase and little Kinley. She'll be 6. And then little Wesson will be 2 February 13th.
Okay, so first of all, I want to give you props for being able to say their names and their ages immediately whenever I ask you, because
everyone can't see my notes, Brandy.
Oh, you've got notes. Okay, I did not see that.
I did remember that, though.
Okay, well, man, that's hard to be put on the spot, and for a guy to be popping with those numbers.
I just rattled it right off.
Boom! It was right at the.
Oh, I really hope my wife watches this.
Well, she'll listen to it for sure. You'll have to make her. My husband doesn't listen to my podcast unless I'm like, hey, you're really going to want to hear this.
Right.
And then he will. But he watches all of my Facebook. He reads all my Facebook stuff. Yeah. So sometimes he'll figure out what I'm thinking by watching one of my Facebook pages, because I have so many. I mean, I've got Horsemanship with Brandy.
Well, don't forget Dave. Dave's Building with Dave.
Oh, if you call him Dave, you just got took off the Christmas card list.
Uh-oh.
He literally,
David.
Yeah, he cannot stand
David. It'll never happen again.
Never. So Building with David, he's got his own Facebook page and website, because that's for our at-home wood shop projects that we have for homeschool kids and for private school and for public school. But we've made it where the wood shop can come to them and they get to build kits through video. And then I've wrote all sorts of activities that go along with each project. And it's a completely USA made project.
Right.
Because we even bought a sawmill and a kiln. And even our CNC machine that cuts everything out, we went with a USA made CNC.
Yeah, I'm all about American made if possible.
Right.
If possible. And I'd give David props for that, because I'm a firm. It's like getting kids in the outdoors, right?
Right.
And taking them fishing, teaching them how to use the live scope stuff, and getting them out camping. A lot of kids don't. That's why we try to keep our costs as low as possible.
Right.
So people that can't afford $40,000, or higher for an RV, they can go at an affordable place, affordable time at a campground, and have a really nice weekend for under $400.
Right.
It gets the kids like the Building with David. It gets the kids off the video games, off the couch.
Disconnect from all that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Like right now, whenever you're tuning in to hear this podcast, because once it's put up, it's up forever. I mean, it might be 2027 whenever they finally get to hear this, or it might be 2023. However, it is 2023 when we're recording this. But we have not changed our prices for our wedding venue since 2018. We actually kept our prices because we hate all the price gouging that's going on in our world right now, like post-COVID.
Correct.
And so we're trying to not be part of all of that, and we've kept our prices the same. So like we have a wedding venue for the last 2 years. It's won Missouri's best place to get married. And I mean, even your daughter got married there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it's heated and air conditioned, because you got to do that in this state.
It's air conditioned for sure. That's nice. Yeah.
So so tell me about crappie. Why crappie? Why did you choose that as your third part of Bluebird Outdoor Adventures? You went with crappie guide service. So why specifically crappie?
So I love to crappie fish. I've always loved to crappie fish. Last year, I was fortunate enough to finally get a smaller boat. I never had a boat, just bank fished. It was hard to take grandkids fishing, and I just loved it. I just love crappie fishing. I do it almost every day, whether I have clients or not.
Okay.
And all the technology right now, it's almost, a lot of people say it's cheating, and it is kind of cheating with the live scope and all the sonar stuff. But
I don't know what a live scope is.
So a live scope's a forward-facing sonar. So,
okay. What instead of backwards facing?
No, forward-facing.
Okay.
Forward-facing sonar. So a live scope, you sit in the front of the boat and you watch a TV screen. It's just like a computer monitor. You can actually watch the fish, see the fish come up and take your bait. It's the kids that I've taken and my grandkids are so ate up with it. It's just cool, And actually, my youngest daughter, Destiny, can fish and use a live scope with the best of them.
Okay.
She can fish. Being able to see the fish, and you learn so much how they react to different things and different baits, different weather conditions. It's so the live scope has changed the fishing industry a bunch, and they do a lot of them in tournaments.
Okay.
Another part of the guiding, the crappie guiding this year is I've actually joined 3 crappie tournament trails this year. I'm going to be hitting a tournament trail in February 23rd.
February 23rd.
I'll be headed to Lake D'Arbonne, Mississippi, or Louisiana.
Louisiana, okay.
Yep.
Well, you know what? Louisiana has got some amazing food down there, by the way.
They do. I'm looking forward to the eating for sure. I might not catch a fish, but I bet I can put some shrimp away.
I love Louisiana. Like when I used to do a whole bunch of full contact fighting, and I did some fighting down there in Baton Rouge,
right,
and Shreveport.
Yeah.
So Shreveport, I did a kickboxing match or a kickboxing fight down there. I actually made good money doing that.
Really?
Isn't that weird? People look at me and they're just like, yeah, I bet she can make some good casseroles. And I'm all like, I fought internationally in 5 countries as a heavyweight fighter.
I've seen a couple videos. So,
all right, my father he was a truck driver, but before he was a truck driver, he was a row cropper. And he loved, he would plan all of that. And I remember whenever those little seedlings would come up, he had so much pride in being like, I made this happen. And I don't know, that's kind of what I feel with your fishing is just like, I am doing something I enjoy. I'm relaxing. And like, I caught that. I don't know. Correct. And then like to bring your family along with you and for them to enjoy your hobby. So, you know what? My one fear, like this was a fear whenever we opened our horse trail riding facility. I was so afraid that as soon as I made a business out of my hobby, that I might not have that same love for it anymore.
Right.
So you don't have that fear?
No. It's kind of funny. You kind of headed down this trail because I thought the other day when you and I talked and we scheduled this for this week. Even like yesterday, day before, I got to thinking, what's my goal? What's my goal? I want to try to get out of coming and speaking with Brandy, being on the podcast, saying, and stuff. And a lot of people's first thought would be, well, I want to get 10,000 likes on my page, and I want to make a bunch of money. And that's not it. It's not me. But my goal out of this is inspire somebody, to inspire somebody and help them not be afraid. Not be afraid to either do something that you love, do something, a dream,
right.
Turn a hobby into a business, and there's a book called Millionaire Minds.
Right.
I'm through about half of it. It's a huge book, and I'm not a real good reader.
I
wasn't a very good student.
I read all the time as well, but tell me something. Has there been something that you've connected with in that book? Yeah,
it's the 1% Club.
Okay.
It's either 1% or 2%. I think it's the 1% Club in the world. The 1% Club is a club of people like you and I feel like, that has the ability to see what other people can't see and stuff.
Okay.
Like fishing or
right.
like camper rentals, like RV rentals. I got a lot of flack when I first started. Little snide remarks, about your little business and you're renting campers and you're not going to do this. Well, those people don't say that no more.
Oh, no.
But the 1% Club.
People love your business. They are like, you actually are the answer to their problem.
To a lot of people. Another part, and the Millionaire Minds book talks about taking those chances. The entrepreneurs in the country and across the world, the 1% Club is the club of people that can see what other people can't see in things and is willing to take a chance. Like I'll always bring up to people, even my kids, Babe Ruth, the baseball player, probably one of the career, I'm not a baseball historian, but he was a career 300 hitter, right? He hit all these home runs and he struck out 7 times. Oh. He failed 7 times out of 10.
Okay, I was thinking 7 times. I actually knew
he
that
hit the ball 3 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
right?
He struck out more than he hit those home runs, but people don't remember that negative. They remember the positive about Babe Ruth.
He's a 300 hitter. He failed 7 times.
He's still in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to fail. The 1% Club is not afraid to fail. If you fail, you learn from it. And I want to inspire somebody here to if they have an idea, a dream.
Right.
The outfit and stuff and the crappie guide stuff is kind of a dream of mine. I love to fish. I could fish 24 hours a day if I could stay up that long. I got a big fishing trip tomorrow. Some clients out tomorrow. And, going with a buddy, doing some catfishing in the morning that I've never really done, and then meeting up with some people and going crappie fishing for the rest of the day. But the Millionaire Minds book, I would suggest anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur or has a business idea to read that book.
Man, you know what book that I just loved was Psycho-Cybernetics, and that book, it's a little bit older, and I had to look up some of the words to be like, what the heck does this mean?
Well, I probably couldn't get through it then.
No. It's just those words are outdated. Like we don't use them in our common language anymore.
Right.
And then, so it wasn't a big deal because my husband has like a huge vocabulary. His vocabulary is actually larger than mine, and his spelling ability is better than mine. Okay. But I don't care. But he didn't even know. He was like, "Whoa, I don't have a clue." But Psycho-Cybernetics, the 10x rule, like whatever you want to do, you need to do it 10 times harder. You know what I mean? To be able to, like, if you want to cold call people, don't just cold call 3 people. You cold call 30 people.
Correct.
You don't want to send out 2 emails. You want to send out 20. Not to the same person because that would be annoying. Right. Like you just need to go up after it. But you was talking about people being afraid to fail. Oh my gosh, we had so many people, family members that made fun of us for wanting to open a trail riding facility on a family farm we're right around 300 acres, and they were just like, how many miles of trail you going to have? We're going like, around 25. Okay, and they were like, you can't have that with that. And I'm like, last year there were 3 trail facilities that closed that had so much more miles of trails than what we did. Yeah, but we share our progress with people. We built a covered arena. We put in an obstacle course. We have round pins.
You teach.
I teach things. We bring things in. We host events. Country Tough Mounted Archers is the name of our mounted archery chapter. Mm-hmm. And to bring in mounted archery was kind of difficult because that's like an East Coast, West Coast thing. It's not a lot in the Midwest.
It is now.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, we've built a large course. We sell all of the products, any of the equipment, but that was difficult. I mean, like, once again, like people have got to get where they're not always comfortable. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable, and things are difficult if you want to succeed.
Right, and it's okay to be comfortable in your position or in your spot. That's cool.
Right,
that's cool. You can be comfortable. I don't think a person should ever be content or satisfied where you are. I think you should always try to do better.
Right,
whether it's personal stuff, business stuff, whatever, family stuff. I think you should always try to do better.
Well, I've noticed with older horses and older humans. Older anything, as soon as you stop, oh my gosh, do you know how many people, as soon as they retire, they pass away within a few years after retiring because they had a purpose and they were going, and then as soon as they didn't, it messes with them. I have so many female friends that once they retire, they have some mental issues with, because they were going 900 miles per hour.
They're busy all the time.
And then had to put on the brakes. There is so much mental things going on.
It's like they lost their purpose.
Right, and they didn't.
Lost their purpose in the morning. I used to, for years and years, I worked up at, in a factory for 38 years and then here and there, and I'd get up at all hours of the night. Sometimes 11 at night, 2 in the morning, go to work all day. And that just wasn't for me anymore. It just, there's got to be something better. And my uncle, I got an uncle that's in Texas, that is a huge inspiration to me, either spiritually, financially, business. He's a very, very successful businessman. He actually bought me the Millionaire Minds book,
right,
and told me to read it. And like I said, I'm not a very good reader, but I flipped through there. But I'm about halfway done through it, and that's an amazing book. It's a good read if it opens your eyes about. Like I said before, just not being scared to to take risk,
right.
to take advantage. You know, I retired from that place, the Alden place, about 6 years ago. And then 3 years ago, I just fully retired from all that stuff, and I rent campers, and now I'm starting to guide and, you know, the guide and stuff, the crappie fishing stuff. But it's been a dream, and I'm not scared.
No.
I'm not scared.
You know what? Like right now I'm doing ice water baths because they're supposed to help with, what's supposed to decrease inflammation, supposed to decrease anxiety, and it's supposed to increase metabolism and increase mental clarity. And like, you know how hard it is for me to get into that? People are just like, I couldn't do
videos.
It's awful. If anybody tries to be like, oh, this is so great, this is like meditating.
So what's the average water temperature? Under 40?
32 to about 38 is what it is right
now. I know
now.
you had to break ice with a hammer one morning.
Yeah. And you know what? You know how many people like said horrible things to me, and I'm just like, y'all are stupid. You're so stupid. I don't even care about you because I'm over here trying to decrease the swelling in my leg that got broke before. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to increase my metabolism. I'm trying to have a clearer mindset and anxiety, you know, from having this business. I mean, there is anxiety that goes along with being a business owner. Yep. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but I did want to, you had said something about, fear, people with fear and a fear of failing. And you know what? I am done with that fear of failing because with owning my own business, I have never had a failure that I did not appreciate later. So now whenever I have something fail, I'm just like, heck yeah, because every time I fail, I bounce back higher. You know what I mean? Every time, and the harder my lesson is, the more I rebound. So like now I'm just like, woohoo, where's the failure? Because I'm just looking for it.
The more you remember, you know, one of my markisms, we'll call it a markisms, is every failure or everything that's bad that happens. I always try to find the blessing out of it. Mm-hmm. There has to be a blessing somewhere. And my prime example, a quick story. So I borrowed a tractor and a tiller from a buddy one time, till my garden, right? So it was across the highway, 52 highway. So I went down, got the tractor, and it's an old tractor, you know how those things are. So it started right up, got up next to the highway, 52 highway, going through coal camp. So I run out of gas right at the highway, right?
Oh, gosh.
My buddies owned a convenience store. So the pumps are about 40 feet away. The tractor weighs like 50 million pounds. I can't push it. Right. It's 150 degrees outside, right?
Okay, yep.
So I get off the tractor.
A whole bunch of sarcasm there.
Right. So I have to walk all the way home, get a gas can, walk all the way back, which is probably about 8 blocks, probably something like that. Walk 25 feet to get gas in a can and put in a tractor so I can get to my house.
Okay.
So as soon as I do that.
You know, that's ironic.
Right. I know, but the lesson here, what I say about trying to find a blessing out of anything that goes wrong, and I want everybody to listen to this. So when I ran out of gas with that tractor, right at the highway, seconds after that, if anybody lives around here, and I'm not going to slam the company, but there's some semi trucks around here that really fly down the roads. Mm-hmm. A semi come through there just barreling around that corner. So if I would have ran out of gas another 25 feet, I would have got waxed by the semi. Mm-hmm. So thank God I ran out of gas before I got to the highway.
Right.
It was an inconvenience. It's just things that go bad and things that are trouble or failures are just an inconvenience. Mm-hmm. It's no big deal, man. Just learn from it. Learn from the failure, learn from the inconvenience, and get better at it. That's how we all get better.
Well, you know, the story that if people have been listening to a lot of my podcasts that I've referenced before is I got cancer whenever I was in my early 20s.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And for me to be on my mom's insurance, I had to be a full-time college student. And, you know, whenever I found out I had cancer was the month that I graduated with my first college degree.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go back for another one.
You had to go back to school.
It took me 5.5 years to get my first 4-year degree. I was not the best student. And
but that's a blessing and a bad deal.
No, it was. And you know what? That second college degree, my GPA was so much higher that is what allowed me to get into the alternative teacher certification. If I would have not have, they averaged my 2 GPAs, And without it, I wouldn't have been able to become a school teacher. And I did that for 11 years. And,
there's always something good out of something bad.
Well, and I think I found out that I had cancer like 3 days before I graduated with my first college degree, and it's in biology and a minor in physics, okay?
Wow.
And then my second college degree was with criminal justice. And 3 days after I graduated with that second college degree, and I was cancer-free, okay?
That's great.
Cancer-free. But 3 days after I graduated with that second college degree, I moved to Missouri to try to go to the Olympics as a heavyweight fighter. And then that's what brought me here. But I had to get that clean bill of health, and I was like, oh, I should be able to graduate as long as I am done with the cancer treatment. Wow. Then I can move. And I was able to move. And then that was in August of 2003. And I met my husband in December of 2003. And I stayed in this state. But if I wouldn't
what a story.
You know what? And if I wouldn't have been somebody trying to go to the Olympics, I would have never moved to Missouri, because I moved here to train with a lady named Terry Gautreaux. And she's in Blue Springs, Missouri. Mm-hmm. And then look at how I'm happy. I'm literally happy. You know how many people cannot say that? Like, nobody, I mean, I'm a large woman, and you know how many people, they won't let themselves be happy because of their size or something?
Let me tell you something.
I'm happy.
I had a really close friend of mine way back in high school. Mm-hmm. I went through some tough times there. We've all went through tough times, but I remember this friend of mine. She told me, she goes, look, you're never going to be happy you're never going to be happy in life until you're happy with yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to lose weight too.
Yeah.
I'm happy with myself. Yeah. Do I need to do better? I'm going to try to do better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and go home and kick the dog and stuff because I need to lose 40 pounds.
Right.
It's your own choice. And it's, I'm happy. You know how hard it was, Randy, to get up at, my last daughter, Destiny, she was a 4-sport athlete. So we were gone literally every night, even during the summertime with summer stuff, So we would come home from volleyball games, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I'd sleep an hour, get up and go to work. Yeah. I've done that for a long time. I would never change anything about or miss any of my kids' and stuff. And I tried not to do that, but I wasn't happy. And that drags you down and pulls you down. It's kind of like the negative comments with the ice bath stuff and everything. I separate my stuff from negative people and negative situations. Yeah. We're just not. You're not going to talk to Mark if you're gonna bang on me and stuff. I'm not going there.
No, I don't allow people to make me into a doormat. And, I think a lot of people are drawn to me because, like, a while ago, I took him over there to show him all the different websites because he was talking about maybe separating his 3 businesses, thinking about doing it maybe for some social media or websites, didn't know, or maybe put them all on one. So I was just showing him what I had. And then one of my ice bath videos popped up, and then somebody was like, oh, she's chubby or whatever. And then I just replied back real fast, like, hey, I'll check back with you tomorrow for more advice. I don't know, but other people cannot handle that stuff. And I address that all the time. And I'll tell people, like, you need to watch what you're saying because some people cannot handle that.
Yeah, it'll set them over the edge. And I got to give you a lot of props about the way you handle things like that. That's something that I could really try to do better at because the first thing I want to do is snap.
Oh yeah,
just snap.
I have a snap in me.
Yeah, and I know you do. I've seen the snap. Well, a little bit.
Yeah,
but
nothing bad.
You can't let things like that or people like that negative situations or negative people bring you down.
Right.
You have to be happy with yourself and happy with your spot, and if you're not, then change it.
Right. Well, and you know what? You know how many people tell me, oh, you should work out. Okay, well, I lift weights 3 days a week, and I do cardio 3 days a week. And they're
what made me feel the best the last couple of weeks was I had a buddy call me. Actually, I was taking my son, and he's the oldest, Derek, and Destiny fishing. We were scouting out some new spots, marking some things with the radar, the live scope and stuff. And I had a buddy of mine call me and ask me about a question and stuff. And he goes, I think I just met you guys on the highway. We were headed to Truman Lake. I said, yeah, I thought I seen you he works for a big company in Sedalia. He goes, yeah. He goes, you know what, man? He goes, sometimes I really envy you for having the fortitude, the gumption to do what you've done, and you're doing what you like to do, and you're having fun, and that's what life's about, man. It's just about having fun and living your life, you know. And that made me feel good because that kind of gave me some validation, I guess. About we all need validation in what we're doing,
right?
You know, but I don't expect people to. Not everybody likes me.
Oh man!
And that's fine. That's cool.
I've got a list, a very long list.
I've seen some of them a while ago on there.
Of people that hate me. So whenever I went to the gym, maybe about a week ago, I seen somebody's shirt that said, "Die with memories, not dreams." Man, die with memories, not dreams.
Right.
Like, how wonderful is that?
Hey, you know how you see the road best when you're driving?
How?
If you're in the driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
So be in the front seat.
So how do they get in touch with you if they want it? Because you'll take novices. Do they have to have equipment?
No, I supply everything with the crappie guide stuff.
So they just need to bring some money and themselves.
Bring some money. Right now, I would definitely bring some long johns.
Okay.
It's pretty cold, but right now is the best time to catch
Not the donuts. Not
yeah,
the
no,
long,
no.
Long johns means you need another
Under
layer.
Armour or whatever.
Yeah, you need another layer of pants on.
Yeah, exactly. It gets pretty cold. We fish out of a brand new 2023 Phoenix 819 Pro. It'll go 70, a little more, but we don't have to go that fast.
Right.
The wintertime fishing on Truman right now is just terrible hot. It is hot fishing. You can catch more fish and bigger fish right now than you can in the springtime.
Okay.
It's and that's
no guts, no glory. They need to get out there and do some cold water fishing.
So they can contact us through my website, Bluebird Outdoor Adventure.com.
And it's adventure.
That's the website, Bluebird Outdoor Adventure.
Okay.
.com or
Bluebird Outdoor Adventure.com.
That's the website, and then Facebook, Bluebird Outdoor Adventures.
Okay.
And then
What
give me a call.
What about this YouTube channel? Because you've got YouTube videos going up.
Yeah, so I've really been trying hard to. I've learned a lot the last 2 months about trying to video. You watch all these videos and these guys that are professionals on the YouTube and stuff, and it's man, anybody can do that. They just set a camera up, and I got a really good GoPro. I got a couple other cameras. I got 4 cameras. And that looks it's not that easy. I about lost a really expensive camera out of my boat the other day because I forgot I had it set up on the back deck. So, the video and the YouTube stuff, I posted a video just like, I think you mentioned it earlier.
Of just driving the boat.
Just a takeoff, and kind of my little catchphrase with our rental business is we make the outdoors easy. And my little catchphrase now I've come up with the guide and stuff is trim it and send it.
Trim it and send it?
Trim it and send it.
What does that mean?
So to get up to speed, they call it get on pad, right? So my boat will go high 60s, low 70s, right? So when you get up on pad, you trim your motor all the way down to start off, to get out of the hole, to get a hole shot. And as soon as you come up, and my boat will plane out in a matter of about 12 feet. So then you immediately start trimming your motor up, and the higher you trim your motor up, the faster you go.
Okay.
So when you get up to about 70, the only thing that's in the water is like your prop, right? So, so trim it and send it. That's what we do in crappie fishing.
Okay. Well, this podcast that you're on, it's called Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holton. Now, I've mentioned that I'm plus size, so most people think it's about being big, it's about size, but it's not at all. Actually, the mare, M-A-R-E, whenever I have my podcast transcribed, they think I'm saying mayor, M-A-Y-M-A-Y-O-R, but it's Big Boss Mare, M-A-R-E, and a mare is the it's the leader of a horse herd. Everybody thinks it's like the top stallion or stud.
Like the boss hen in a turkey flock.
Yeah. It's the Big Boss Mare. And it has nothing to do with size at all. Actually, our boss mare for our herd is the smallest female, but she's got enough attitude for about 5 of them. And she's this small horse that no fluff, no nonsense, and you better do what she says. and amongst the herd. It ain't like that with she and I.
It's a pecking order.
Oh yeah. So that's all it is. It's not about being a big female. It's about being a big boss, and being a big boss has nothing to do with your size. It's all about your ability to take risk, calculated risk. It's about being okay with things not being okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then seeing this vision and moving towards it, and and if things go wrong, you just adapt and move forward.
Right. I don't live in the past at all no more. I put that behind me a few years ago. Things that are in the past are in the past.
Right.
And there's not one of us here that doesn't make mistakes, and the thing about mistakes is learning from them and getting better at it, and not making the same mistake twice,
it's not really mistakes. It's just learning.
It's inconveniences. Yeah.
Right.
It's just an inconvenience, So I've got caught in rainstorms out on the lake before, that stinks.
Yeah.
The rain's really hard when you're going real fast, and
it's cold.
It's cold, big waves, you're getting wet, and it's just an inconvenience, man. But I'm doing what I love, and I get one of the biggest parts is I get to spend a lot more time with my family. Mm-hmm. And there's a country song. Somebody will be able to tell me the name of it. I'll never be able to remember the name of it. But part of the lyric says 100 years goes faster than you think.
Oh yeah.
And you think about that,
mm-hmm.
100 years. That's really not that long.
No.
So you want to spend your time here, being miserable in something that you're not, whether it's a relationship, business, whatever. Man, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there.
Right.
I'm not going there.
Right.
So.
You're just like, no, I refuse to not be happy. And if people want to go fishing with you, if they want to rent an RV and experience the outdoors, you can take them anywhere. I mean, this is literally an outdoor adventure.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've had campers, we offer a delivery service where,
mm-hmm.
People don't have a truck to pull a camper. We offer a delivery service for a one-time charge within a reasonable area of Coal Camp. We try to stay around 50 miles.
Right.
I went to Palm de Tar, went to Bennett Springs. That's quite a bit far. And, but you don't have to. I've had people pull up. We've had campers go from the state of Maine to Idaho to South Dakota to Texas.
Wow. Your RVs have?
Yeah.
Were those people that were uprooted by a tragedy, or were they adventure?
Actually, to be honest with you, my business took a turn for the good when the COVID stuff turned out. People were canceling vacations. They couldn't get flights. Resorts were closed. So they come and hook onto a camper and go on their weekly vacation to Florida.
Right. Well, and our business increased during COVID also, and I always just feel really guilty because so many people's businesses tanked and did horrible. But, there has to be a teeter-totter. And ours teeter-tottered up because people could come and ride their horse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was so many people.
Outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So many people rode their horses and camped.
Yeah, I had people call me and say, well, surely we're not going to catch COVID at a campground.
Right, because you're way far away.
You're way far away.
You're getting fresh
outside.
air.
Yeah.
You're not, confined. I know on a Tuesday during COVID, we had people here from 7 different states. And since we had, we're so spread out, we were nobody's campsites even had anybody on either side of them. They were so spread out. So here it was a Tuesday, so.
So I have one of my goals this spring is to get me a huge United States map on the wall inside my office, and those little bitty pins, with the little red markers on them and stuff. I want to put a pin where every place in the United States that I've rented to people.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so,
you should do
that. So
that.
get this. I've rented to people in almost every state.
Right.
Including Hawaii.
Okay, I was going to say, no, not
including Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And that was actually at the state fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, they came all the way to the state fair. Our state fair is large. I mean, I know it brings in over 250,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, in all that commerce, our town really depends upon that, or our area.
The area does.
Yeah. And then Coal Camp is on the way to, Truman Lake?
Yeah, see,
or Lake of the Ozarks.
that's another good spot. We're located just east. We're on the east side of Coal Camp, right on 52 Highway. That's where our headquarters are. That's where the RV park is. So we're 20 minutes from Truman Lake, and if you go south on 65 to Warsaw, we're 20 minutes from Lake the Ozarks,
right?
Below Truman Dam, and we're 45 minutes to the bottom part, the big part, like Bagnell Dam. We're right. So we're perfect.
You're like a donut hole. You're the hole of a donut or the belly button of something. Okay.
Right. We're that extra link in the chain that holds three chains together. Okay. So we're right in the middle. I mean,
well, and you know what? With Von Holton Ranch, with our camping facility, and all of the stuff that we do, we're centrally located, and we're only like 40 minutes off of I-70. So we're centrally located for United States. So we're able to, a lot of people will come to clinics and things that we host here because we're not too far away from anywhere, and they can get here. Horse people will travel like 6 to 8 hours to go to something, like people travel.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of those people, they don't have living quarters in their horse trailers, or maybe they do.
Right.
But they don't want to, the fuel costs, to take two vehicles or make two trips back and forth. I've had people come out here to the ranch, the Von Holton Ranch, from western Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado.
Right. All sorts of stuff.
I think New Mexico.
Right. And it's cheaper for them.
Yeah.
Well, and now, like the world, okay, I feel like there was a pre-COVID and a post-COVID right now, like with my communications and stuff. Like things that I'm seeing is whenever people come to us and vacation, they stay a little bit longer because they've already accrued all that cost, and it's cheaper for them to make just a little bit longer vacation and enjoy themselves. Used to, I would have the weekend person that would get here barely on Friday night, and they would have to leave out early on Sunday, and they try to cram it all in there. And now people are like, I'm going to take a day. I'm going to take an extra day, maybe come in on Thursday. Maybe they'll stay till Monday. It just seems like they're just like, man, I'm done with all that rat race for a little bit.
I've had people that's rented from me to come out here to the ranch to an event or a clinic that you've had and actually call me back and say, hey, is there any way that we could, add a day to that?
Right.
Like come out a day early? Yeah, that's no problem, And the reason behind that is they want to come a day before they're either going to compete in an event or take a clinic, and they just want to ride your trails. And they want to hang out at the camper and barbecue or whatever.
Well,
instead of, like you said, cramming everything into one
Everybody's wanting to slow down. One of our biggest events is called Chicks in the Sticks, and it's CHIX, Chicks in the Sticks. And it's our all-inclusive women's event. Right now it's at $375 and includes all their food. They get a shirt. We do a painting class. We go out to eat.
Scheduled for that already?
Yeah, Chicks in the Sticks. Well, we only have 4 cabins, but it's still, that is $375 for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or we have them where they go Sunday through Wednesday or Monday through Thursday. They get an extra day, and I don't charge them any extra. They love those events. Yeah, $375. But our area is affordable, and I can do that for these smaller events. But people are just like, people are like, you should double your prices. And then other people are like, I had to save up. They had to save up for half a year to have that much extra cash, because then they came and they wanted to spend money whenever we went out and did shopping one day, and I do that all locally.
Right, yeah.
But people, as soon as we run out of cabins, other people still want to come, and they hit you up,
Yeah.
And so...
I'll tell you what, I thought about this the other day, and I'm going to spring this on you now. This is like live stuff here,
Oh,
right?
Lord. I can edit.
so the Chicks and the Sticks and the other, like, quote, women's events that you have, I know it's not, I mean, they can still bring their husbands, they can trail ride, whatever they want to do.
I tried a co-ed one once, but yeah.
So here's what I'll do, and I'm going to do this for other just regular rental clients. If you rent a camper from me at Bucksall State Park for the weekend, right? And I'll add a crappie trip to that if you rent from me for a discounted price.
Oh, okay.
So some of these ladies that bring their husbands back at home or boyfriends or whatever, and so I'm not going to Chicks and the Sticks, right?
Right.
Well, hey, guess what? This guy here I rented a camper from him, so if you want to go crappie fishing, you can go crappie fishing while I'm competing.
right? Or Chicks in the Sticks has nothing to do with competition. That's all about massages and hanging out. It's just Chicks in the Sticks. We're out there just trail riding, and a lot of people come without a horse, and they'll just read, or they'll drink wine, or they'll get an extra massage.
So I didn't know that.
That's our largest event this year.
Right.
Yeah, we have 6 of those, and then I have 3 people trying to book private ones, and one person has booked a private one. So, yeah, Chicks in the Sticks is where it's at. All right, guys, if you want to find out more about Mark, remember, it's BluebirdOutdoorAdventure.com. And then the Facebook page has that S on adventures. It's Bluebird Outdoor Adventures for Facebook. And then YouTube is at Bluebird Outdoor Adventures. So 2 of them have an S and 1 of them doesn't.
Right.
Just play around with it until you find those. All right, and if you want to find Von Holten Ranch, our last name is VonHolten. Von Holten Ranch. It's my husband's and mine's last name. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holten.